and I come to you live from a new location, and the only time I'm going to be able to film from this location, other than the video you guys already watched. So it is tomorrow, and today, technically, since it is Thursday, there's not a sip and snack. Oh no, we're going to talk Halloween Horror Nights, because tonight we return to my 4th day of Halloween Horror Nights. I'm very excited about it. My mom's going with me. Should be a fun time. Looking forward to seeing how that's going to work out. And, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the normal group back together. Should be a great night. If you see me in the parks, say hello. And I'm not shy or anything. I don't bite or anything. So, I mean, just, hey, Owen, how you doing? So, if it's blurry, my apologies. You can kind of see the screen in my glasses. I just finished some spooky tenders. Yeah, the gimmick I showed you in the video. I ordered room service, and spooky tenders, basically chicken strips and french fries. They were steak fries. Really good. Like a colossal amount of barbecue sauce and like a wine goblet of water. That was kind of cool. And a whole lot of Coke. So, yeah, that's amazing. Thanks to the Rock Royalty in this case, from Hard Rock Hotel, because we got put on the 7th floor, which means we are club level, basically. And we got to go in, and you got to have different things throughout the day, and I thought that was pretty cool. So definitely a shout out to Hard Rock Hotel or Universal Orlando. Phenomenal service. I cannot wait to stay here again. As a matter of fact, I love my Cabana Bay. Everyone knows about how great the Bay is, but when it comes down to it, if I had a chance to, I would stay here every single vacation, because this place is the real, if you know what I mean. So, I am sitting in a new location. I probably look like, with the curtain, I look like I'm in a Bob Evans right now, don't I? The only thing I'm missing is like a booth behind me. Anyway, I got the Edward Nygma, like, inspired painting behind me. I thought that's kind of cool. That's my background for this time around. And I'm getting ready to head to bed, but I wanted to shoot you guys out this video to talk about Saturday night, the 3rd night of Halloween Horror Nights 25. And I've got everything right in front of me. I've got my list of everything, and let's see how everything progressed, shall we? So Saturday was the day that I do every single year, and that is my Unmasking the Horror Tour. Of course, David was my tour guide, because David is awesome, and actually ran into a fan of the channel who was actually on the tour group with me. So shout out. Thank you for hanging out and everything. You're a jam-up person, and hopefully we see you back in chat somewhere down the line. I'm sure we definitely will. And now we know to put a name to the face, so that's a good thing. Well, let's talk about this event, shall we? Before we get into the actual event itself, we're going to talk about Unmasking the Horror, and we did the combo tour, and the combo tour got you access to 6 of the 9 haunted houses this year. One thing obviously being no purge. Gee, shock surprise there. And we didn't go through Insidious because, as David told me, it's very claustrophobic and it's really hard to fit 15 people into such a confined space. That's the reason why no Insidious this year. I know a lot of people wanted to do the tour to see Insidious. I completely understand that. But, you know what? I'm afraid I've got some bad news, as you know what I'm talking about. No Walking Dead here. Don't worry, we won't talk about that. But Walking Dead is on the tour, but we'll talk about that momentarily. The other thing that we want to talk about is the fact that An American Werewolf in London is also not one of the houses. Basically because in 2013 we already saw that house. And you may or may not, if you're picking up what I'm putting down here, get to see something from both of the properties that were not on the tour. The Purge, you stay completely away from the Purge. I got some pictures from walking away from the Purge. That's pretty much all I had. So I'll tell you right now, I don't know what's going to happen if you get the morning or the afternoon, but the combo, I will tell you right now, lets you go through 6, and the 6 are Freddy vs. Jason, Body Collectors, Recollections, Run, Blood, Sweat, and Fears, which is the first time that Disaster Q House has actually been seen on a tour. They want to spice it up a little bit, which is pretty cool. Then we went over to The Walking Dead, The Living and the Dead over in the Parade Building. We ended up going over to Shrek and checked out Asylum in Wonderland in 3D. And we finished off with, yes, the House of the Year, Jack Presents 25 Years of Monsters and Mayhem. After the tour was over, it was pretty much time to meet up with the gang, so that's exactly what we did. Pop Squad, you know it. That's how we do. And we had another great night, and I'll explain how it went. So we started out with The Walking Dead. Once again, hashtag walkers in a hot tub. State right now, still haven't gotten a great run through, but the actors are actually getting a little bit more intense. And that works for me. It seemed like they cared a lot more on this run through than the previous two I've had. So, you know what? Maybe The Walking Dead will go up. Probably not, but you never know. We went to The Purge, and I love this house, even more intense. It seems like even darker, which is crazy because it was like pitch black darkness, and it was insane on Friday night. But on Saturday, it seems like the scares were amped up. The music was even louder. I really enjoyed every second of it. And The Purge, for obvious reasons, if you know me, is going to continuously be at the top of my list. We went over to Run because Insidious had way too long of a wait time, and I wanted to make sure I saw Bill and Ted on the first showing, like I do every single night, and I will tonight as well. But one thing I definitely wanted to do was hit that up. So we backtracked, went over to Disaster, we hit up Run, and I found out a secret about Run. Run is better in the daytime. Pshaw, you say. Oh, and you're crazy, you say. Well, some might say this is true, but that's beside the point. The thing about it is you have to understand, even being in the daylight, Run is still intense. Why? Well, because this character just got started. They're not tired from scaring all night. Their voice isn't hoarse from trying to scream at you. Everybody's a lot more on point, and you may not get the Q video, the really sweet Q video that really makes you feel like it's the Running Man in Hellgate Prison, which is pretty much what it is. But you do get to have the great scares that you definitely don't get if you go through it like 12:30 at night. Now, granted, I'm sure there's a possibility that you could still get those scares, but it's a lot better during the day. I know it's weird to say a Disaster Q house is better in the day, but this one is. I really enjoyed this. This character's on complete point. Always nice seeing some great, intense characters up in your face. Always fun. So we went into San Francisco, and we were in front of Disaster, ran into Jen and Liz. It's always nice to see Jen and Liz. I didn't see Tim anywhere, but it was really cool to see them because I've been trying to bump into them at the event ever since last year. Hopefully we'll see them at the Pop Meetup, so hopefully that works out. Tim wasn't anywhere to be found. Apparently he was doing like a tour, and he ended up doing an RIP tour. We ran into him later on in the night, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Went to Bill and Ted with Tyler. Me and him went over there, and everybody else went to Diagon because Quentin had never been to Diagon Alley before, so they took their time in Horror Nights to go over while we were watching Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted is great. They finally took the F-bomb out, so it's gone. So anybody that heard it on preview night and on Friday night, the F-bomb is completely gone. They added some things. They subtracted some things. It's basically about the same show, and the crowd was really into it. Still getting a standing ovation when it ends. And obviously the opening moment everybody loves so much, even though it is a movie that I absolutely hate so much. But that's not the point. The point is the moment that happens right after the actual opening moment, and that's what I'm talking about. A really great reference to what year it currently is, if you understand what I mean by that. Bill and Ted awesome, and it will continue to be just that. So we went to Body Collectors, and I'll tell you right now, I said this on Twitter, and I'm reading it right now. I said Body Collectors is hard to top, very close to my favorite right now. I'll tell you at this point, there is a good possibility that it's going to fight, literally, to the death, Monsters and Mayhem for my favorite house of the year. Body Collectors never had a bad walkthrough. This house is insane. It looks phenomenal, and this character is just completely on point in every way possible. I love this house in every way. It's pretty, and it's pretty scary too, and a confirmation on a baby born in Shady Brook. You know what I'm talking about when I say that. And yes, this is true. It is there. You just have to look for it. You might want to look to the right. It's a possibility. You may see something. So I get to Monsters and Mayhem. Like I said, this house cannot be defeated when it comes to my favorite of the year. This house, it's got everything you would want, and it's the Horror Nights history lesson that I've always wanted, and it shows a little bit of pieces of the past, things that I've only heard of and seen little snippets of and heard people like rave about. I actually can do that myself now because I've seen a little bit of what they have to offer, and it makes me really wish I could go back and see those things before. So we end up at one point I think this is where, I'll make sure I was right this. Yeah, I have no idea why An American Werewolf in London ends up being the house I completely skip when I'm talking about it on last night's and on this night. So I thought that was really weird that I ended up doing that. So Friday and Saturday I both completely missed talking about AWIL. So Werewolf, like I said, I like 2013 better. Something about this year's that I can't put my finger on it, but I haven't really got a good run through yet. I'm hoping it comes tonight. I think it will. And while we were there, I said I couldn't find Tim. We ran into Tim, actually, and chatted with him for a moment, and that was really cool. And another thing I want to mention, later on in the night, we ran into Mike Aiello. That was also kind of cool. Like I said before, it's always really nice running into people that I know in the park, especially people that are known by everyone like that. And yeah, I got to talk to Mike about some things, and like I said, we're all saddened, some of us more so than others, about what may or may not have been coming to the event this year. But rest assured, maybe there's a chance that it may come in the future. Fingers crossed on that one. Went to Insidious, and I was like, nope, nope, nope. Turned to Tracy Moore, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Not doing this at night. Not doing Insidious at night. Well, I had to, because that's how it worked out. And Insidious is terrifying at night. It really is. And your eyes have adjusted, long day, have adjusted to the darkness, and it's freaky. There's scares everywhere. I mean, there's some really great scares. Like John, Psycho Massacre Films, got some really great scares. Like, he got pinballed in the Nightingale's room in Monsters and Mayhem, and there was some really loud screaming going on in my entire group from Insidious. This house is terrifying, and it's just going to continuously get better and better. I will be hitting it early on tonight, but I do think it's really enjoyable at night. It's weird to say Insidious is crazy at night, and Run is even better during the day. So that's what we've got to that. Yeah, as I wrote, I preferred it at night. Freddy vs. Jason, finally got a good run through. Of course, we know we saw Greg Nicotero on Friday night, and in Freddy vs. Jason, they finally got the Freddy aspect worked out. Like, obviously, preview night didn't have all the Freddy masks ready, so it was very Jason heavy. This time we actually got a little bit of Freddy, and it was really great because the fight they had, I mean, it was basically just Jason fighting a giant mannequin, but it was super awesome, and it was done really well. But the thing about it is, it really looked like there were two actual characters fighting. It was awesome, and not just screens with a Z, obviously. It was something that needed to be seen to be believed. And Jason's still everywhere, still on point, all the Jason's characters. I really enjoyed that. And it was a really good walkthrough of Freddy vs. Jason. I can understand why people really like this house. This is the walkthrough that I needed to actually start believing that this house could be something better. Well, unfortunately, we didn't get to Asylum in Wonderland. Kind of ran out of time on this one. But obviously, we got to Bill and Ted. I still haven't seen the Carnage Returns again since preview night, so I'm curious to see what happens when the changes that were made. I found out it's very minimal, if anything. I know all the, like I said before in yesterday's video, or the video talking about yesterday, which would be all the disaster references have been taken out and everything, and there was a couple things they did take out that they had on preview night just so EPs could enjoy that, but still, it was a great night of it, and seeing a lot of great people too. So very happy with that. Ran into a lot of fans. That was awesome. Took a picture with some fans actually in front of Monsters Cafe. That was super cool. So thumbs up to you guys out there for taking the time to hang out for a moment. And like I said, we got the Pop Meetup coming up October 1st without Express, October 4th with Express. Should be super awesome. And hopefully with any certainty there will be a chance that you're going to see the opening of NBC Sports Grill and Brew, because it looks like it's very close to being finished, but it's not officially finished yet. So hopefully by the time that Tristan and James get in town, this will happen and this will be finished. So let's talk about Saturday night real quick. I got some chance to see some more of the scare zones, and I actually got to see the ushers kill. I thought that was cool. Obviously, I mean, I work at a movie theater. Seeing someone beat someone to death with a flashlight's always entertaining to me. And the usher's a really great character. It really is. And I hope to see a lot more of the kill sets, and I hope I get some more footage of those kill sets. Now, that's something that's going to have a problem with the scare zone, even though I still think the scare zone's great. So let's talk about my scare zones real quick for Saturday. My number 5 is Scary Tales Scream Punk. I'll say right now that I don't get to spend nearly enough time in the scare zone, and it really feels more, not much like Scream Punk or not much like Steampunk. It makes me feel a lot more like it's just like Disney princesses getting attacked, basically, is pretty much what I have here. And storybook characters, like, I don't really see much, like, steampunk about it. And then again, maybe I don't know the true definition of the word steampunk. There's that big, awesome set piece right in the middle of the street, right in front of Shrek. But that's pretty much it. That's the only set piece there is. Everything else is done with the actors, and it works, but it's not quite there. Hopefully it gets better. Number 4 is Evil's Roots. I will say right now that it's getting better. It doesn't seem like there's much going on, though. That's the only problem. I mean, it looks awesome. The aesthetics are amazing, but the problem with it is there's not nearly enough characters, basically because this scare zone becomes persona non grata the second that there's a Jack show. Long day. And you know, that's the problem with that. Like, the location is terrible for a lot of these scare zones. Like, putting the ginormous stage in for Carnage Returns is great, but it also eliminates a lot of, like, ways to get to the scare zones. Now, you still can do it. It's just, it gets harder. But number 3 is All Night Die-In, double feature. I will state right now that I really love the black and white cast. I think it's great. Really cool. We had a great experience with Carrie. And that's contemporary cast. We had a great experience with Carrie, and I got to see Norman Bates. That was really cool too. So yeah, I finally got to see a lot more of this scare zone, and I like it a lot more that I go into it. And it was really cool on preview night that we actually had Chucky and a stranger that were just walked into the, not really the queue, but like the end of the run line, like right when you're getting ready to leave, you see Chucky waiting for you. I thought that was really entertaining. Really kudos to them for actually doing that. So this is not changing anything, really. My number 2 is Psychoscarapy Unleashed. Like I said, a lot of potential. Still really haven't got a chance to really spend much time in it. Now, granted, I still think it's high on my list because it looks awesome, and what I've seen of it I really liked. A lot of great interaction with my group on Saturday night, but it's got a little bit of ways to go. Hopefully I'll get to see more, and not just the big awesome fireball that comes out of the burning gazebo. My number 1 is Icons HHN. It's going to stay that way for a while. This scare zone is awesome, and I had a really weird, like, personal experience with the director, with him filming me and me filming him. It was just really creepy, and I really liked every second of that, honestly, because it was a great experience and a great personalized experience, which I think you should have every once in a while, like this character that called me out by name on a preview night. That was really cool. So yeah, like I said, I always wanted to get called out by name in a house or a scare zone, hopefully a house somewhere down the line, so like they know me enough to like call me out. That's awesome, because it personalizes the scare and it makes it even better in my eyes. So hopefully I'll see more kill sets tonight and this coming weekend, because don't forget, we now have 4 straight nights of Halloween Horror Night, so yay, finally that gets to happen. Let's talk about the houses real quick. It changed a little bit, but I'll explain what we've got here. My number 9 is The Walking Dead. Like I said before, still can't get a good walkthrough. This character is getting more intense. I appreciate that, but it's just not there. And I don't know if it's going to be there. I don't know if it's ever going to jump out of 8th position. It's like it's going to move up. It's going to move up to 8th. I don't know if it will or not, because unfortunately, my number 8 is An American Werewolf in London. This is my favorite house of all time, and bringing it back, it was a good idea, but maybe a little too soon, and it just seems like there's something missing. I hate to say that because I love this house so much, but hopefully they get their stuff together this weekend, and we can get that knocked out and bring it back to the prominence it totally deserves. My number 7 is Asylum in Wonderland. Like I said, it's the first 3D house I ever walked through with the actual glasses on. So that says something right there. And obviously Penn and Teller has a huge bar to jump over when it comes to a 3D house for me. But it's getting there. It really is. Some great scares in this house. A lot of misdirection. I really enjoy that. And unfortunately, I did not get to see it on Saturday night. So its placement doesn't change from Friday night. So hopefully I can change that on tonight. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, this one's going to get me a lot of hate. I can tell already it is. Yeah. Bring it on, I guess. My number 6 is Freddy vs. Jason. Yeah, I like this house, but there's some stuff that's a lot higher than this. I mean, like I said, the Jason stuff, it's perfect, perfectly accurate. Jason's literally everywhere, right on top of you at every turn, every corner. I think that's great. The Freddy stuff, it works for me, and I think it's going to get better and better. But it's just, like I said, I cannot justify putting it any higher. Like I said, maybe if I would have had a couple better walkthroughs, maybe that would have helped. Maybe if I would have been able to get to it on preview night, and the fact that I've only got a chance to do the house twice, maybe that would have helped. But like I said, it's just, that's a problem. Hopefully it'll get better. My number 5 is going to be Run. Like I said, Run has really done really well for me. I really like this house a lot. It's a tongue-in-cheek house. It's got a lot of craziness going on. It is literally the Running Man in every way possible. Really cool to see that. And yeah, there's a guest-activated trigger, and I'm not going to tell you where it is, but look for it. I'll just say that. It's a very nice red button. It's the only one that we know of right now, so there's a lot of nostalgia with this year, obviously, but like I said, there's one big red button somewhere in Run. You might want to press that, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully that'll work out for you. But go see it during the day. Run is awesome during the day. My number 4 is Insidious. Yeah, I'm surprised too. Honestly, this house is great. It really is. It's got a lot of great scares, a lot of great claustrophobic scares, and a lot of misdirection as well. And it's one of those, you think the scare's coming, and then it comes from the opposite side. I think that's great, because misdirection is a great thing to have in a house, especially with something as creepy as Insidious. And it's terrifying. Standing in line and hearing the violins play on that tremendous score, it just like gets you hyped up and ready for what you're going to get yourself into. My number 3 is actually The Purge. Yeah, you know, shock surprise. Obviously, if this was what it should have been or what it could have been, I think this probably would have been number 1, but that's just because I'm biased. But yeah, The Purge is getting a lot better. There's even more scares this time around. It was even darker, a lot better environment. The Polite Stranger has not been back on his little tiny stage since preview night. I don't know if they've scrapped that. I don't think they have. We'll see if it happens tonight. I guess it's one of those things about weather. Maybe they didn't know if it was going to be workable weather or not. But yeah, The Purge is insane, intense, and everything I wanted, but not exactly what I wanted, if you understand what I mean by that. The Purge is a great house, so yeah, check it out. My number 2 is Body Collectors, and I guess I could say this is pretty much 1B, because Body Collectors has just been consistent every single time I've gone through it. Just a scary house, a very awesome looking house, and there's just a lot of really great things about it that I cannot go into here because I don't want to spoil anything. There's so many cool things. So that's one thing I definitely recommend checking out, without a doubt. My number 1, With a Bullet, Jack Presents 25 Years of Monsters and Mayhem. This house is everything I wanted and so much more. So much great stuff in here. So many great little Easter eggs for Horror Nights fans. It's a dream house for everyone, and it's going to make everyone happy when it comes down to it. I mean, it seems a little disjointed for people that don't know the backstory, but I assure you, just go through it, enjoy yourself, and it's definitely worth your while. Best house of the year, without a question. That's going to end our video tonight, and I'm going to get off here, and I'm actually going to head to bed because I'll shoot with you guys. I actually am going tonight. I'm so excited. Super awesome. So like 12 hours from like this very moment, I will be at Halloween Horror Nights. How sweet it is. So live vicariously through me, and you can do so with the pop videos. Trying to get some video tonight, as long as the weather holds up. Fingers crossed that it does. I will have some content for you guys coming up, and hopefully get some more of those kill sets. I need to get some more Scare Zone video. May have to wait until Halloween, though, because, I mean, who knows what I'm going to do for Halloween week. I know I'm going, but I don't know exactly what's going on with that. I know I'm meeting up with people. That's all I know. So that's what we've got right now, and if you are able to check out some wonderful content from my good friend Tyler from Homemade Haunt, my good friend Jeremy Films with 2 Z's, and my good friend Ian, Scream 101 Ian, as well as my good friend John, Psycho Massacre Films. They have all done some great content throughout the last several days, and check their stuff out. They have some great stuff, and I'm very happy. They're all, one way or another, a part of Pop, so we're very happy to have them a part of this channel. So that's what we've got for the night, and I will have more Horror Nights coverage for you guys sooner rather than later. The next time you see me, I'll be at Cabana Bay, so I'll be rocking it out at the Bay in about 12 hours or so. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? One more time, let's do it all over again. So that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I gotta say about that.